it gets down to playoff time, there's no one's a friend. Everybody's a foe. Even your GM, if they say something wrong to you, everybody's a foe.
But yeah, I mean, this is that time of where you have to really lock in. If you know that you have a chance to fight for that playoff spot, you just gotta keep going for it. And it's a very risky time of the part. But Carnage, who do you think's gonna come out with the win here? Whiskey Business, or do you think Prism's gonna be able to take it?
Well, going and looking at the stats here, you look at it, let's be honest, it's favoring the whiskey business. We're looking at it. Whiskey business has
Yeah.
been they've been going crazy for the past since the start of the game started to now. Prison Proteges 1632, that's not bad. Like, let's be honest, we've seen worse. It's not bad. But when I look at this, I look at the goals against and the goals for, and it just shows Whiskey Business hammers away at it. And at this point, the Prison Proteges just you need to come in here. You have nothing to lose. Whiskey Business is trying to get back, I believe, top of their entire conference. So they have something to play for. You get number one, you play the easiest team. So right here, Prison Proteges should just come out and be soft here. But looking at the stats, what are you seeing that's really catching your eye?
Well, the main thing I'm seeing is that saves wise, they're pretty similar. But other than that, Whiskey Business is just very far ahead compared to Prism. But I will say I have had the pleasure of watching Whiskey Business on stream before, and they are no joke. So I will be glad to see this game go on because I'd love to see some good Rocket League, honestly, and Carnage. So coming out of here, you see the two teams. How well is the Bakery doing this season?
Bakery, I think across all tiers, they're doing actually pretty more than the most solid ones, probably running for the franchise right now. The whiskey business, you're looking at it and just look down the stat line. You got 157 shots, 131, 125, and then you look on the Prism Proteges, and Shadow Comic can break 100 today, and you're looking at the whiskey business, and you know they mean business. And it's not that they're just shooting to be shooting. These are high percentage chances. Like these are high percentage shots. So at this, I expect it to be kind of one sided, maybe a 3-1, 4-0 in his favor of whiskey business.
Yeah, Canadian Gamer has been really well on his game, but you can't just overlook Rose or Nate, and they've been on their game as well. I mean, everyone on this team has played consistently together. Like I said, I've watched their game. They played well together. They rotate well, and they just keep it with each other. So,
Yep,
what do
we
you
got
think?
everybody. I think it's gonna be fine. But like I said, when you get on stream, people play different, people act different. Some players, they have the lowest SPV, but when they step in here, they play like their first killer. And we got them joining in right now. Whiskey Business and Prison Proteges are loading up. Looking at it, we got Nate on the other side. I believe if I'm looking correctly on the other, we have Wolverine coming in here. And let's get after it.
Wait, Wolverine's playing instead of trios. That's not a switch I was expecting. I know on my stat sheet I have trios in because he's had more games played, but it's never too late to switch something up.
It's never too
I,
late. And actually, I see this multiple times where teams where they're playing with somebody normally, and they'll add just one person different just to throw everybody off and see what happens. Because again, they have nothing to lose. But at the same time, you also got to build for next season. If most of them are only on their first contract, you got to build for the season. And right now, there's a demo on the back end, and there's an open net, and no one gets there in time. Nate clears it away. But right now it's all towards Prison Proteges. They're keeping their pedal on metal. Now we got a long clear. Nate's going up trying to get off the backboard, and that's a redirect into the top 90. Woo!
what a pass and what a dunk! That's great play. Nate's sitting up there waiting for it. You know, Shadow almost got to it, but he was just a second behind. But I mean, Carnage, I'm surprised coming out of this gate. I mean, this game has been really close. It has only been a minute, so you can't judge too much.
We got a
But
double
even
commit
right
on the back
there,
end.
this team is just not looking. Both teams are looking so good right now. Even Wolverine, which we don't know much about, we've seen him a couple games. But do you think that he's going to be able to come out, or do you think they'll swap trios back in?
I think they're doing pretty good. Like I said, there's nothing going too crazy. Like I said, they're not losing to the whiskey business because they made mistakes. That was just a great goal. We got them on the back end. This ball might actually be Nate. Nate's gonna get to it just in time. And right now, like I said, Protege is just throwing everything at them. They know they have it. I don't know if Nate is off a few ping, but he was sitting on the boost when it spawned, and then somehow someone still stole it from him. Wolverine winning every 50 in that corner. We got Shadow Kami up. Shadow Kami misses. Here we go. We got Benjamin. He's gonna make a fake here. Right now, I think everybody on the blue is less than 40 boosts. This is his time to strike. Shadow Kami gets to 100, going straight at him. Canadian's gonna make a jump up. Shadow Kami's gonna fake it. We got open net. No, it's straight to
Oh,
the left side. And right now, I think the Prism Proteges, they have the game plan. They need to start hitting the ball because Canadian Gamer, Rose Fanatic, and Nate are sitting in that net hoping that they don't get a good banger. They got another banger over Canadian. That's a backboard. Can they put it away? Canadian falls directly on the shot. And right now, folks, they are zooming and they're making every right move right now. But right here, can Rose Fanatic can get out? No, loses the Shadow Kami. Shadow Kami dies for his effort. Nate's gonna send it all the way back out. But they have 2 men back. Shadow Kami taking it all the way back up. Gets an air dribble over one. Looks for the corner. Gets it up to get over Nate. And no one's gonna be there. And actually, Bo, I just think everything's going right, but they need to be there. They're not throwing it all in. Like I said, they have nothing to lose. Go all in. Wolverine wins another 50, goes right off to the bat. But besides, right now, poor shooting from Prism Proteges, but all the right pressure. What do you think they're missing besides just the poor shooting?
well, I mean, I don't know if you know the old saying, but they always say that the person who has nothing to lose is the scariest type of person to go against, and we're seeing that right now because they're putting it all on the line, even with a double commit right there. But this whiskey business team is not able to. Never mind, I will hush on that sentence right there. A little messed up right there by Prism, but whiskey business is able to score, and that puts them up 2-0. We could see. I hope to see Prism fight back because that'd be a really good thing to see. But Carnage, I know you're really familiar with the RSC and all. How does this team like match up compared to some of the stuff you've seen before?
I would say back when I played prospect, well, my team was a little bit more demo heavy, but these teams are more pass heavy, and I think that's what you need. And actually, it's a good pass to the middle. No one's there. Actually, Nate's going to be there, but it's a good save for Shadow Kami. Wolverine's got to pick up 4 pads. The only person with boost right now is on the ball, but loses the ball. Shadow Kami actually picked up more boost. He's sitting at 40, going at 33, tries to get a tip over. It might be an own goal here. Actually, it's a tip back out, and now it's an open net to the other side. Canadian just needs to get a tap from it, and he does. Put it away. And right now, we're looking at game one going in favor of Whiskey Business. But like I said, this right here is the patience. The sheer patience is what separates most of these prospect teams. Is they're taking all the punches and then they just counter them because right here, the total shots is 4 shots for Whiskey, 1 for Prism. And when you look at the stat line, that's not their normal routine. Whiskey Business should probably have about 7, 8 going across the board for each and every one of them. But right now, it's more of a defensive battle of who just makes a mistake, who's going to blink right now. And I don't even think it's nerves. I think they both teams came in here pretty relaxed, pretty calm from most teams I see when they come on stream. And actually, he's going to get another tip ball over one. Nate's going to just try to slide it in. There's no one in the middle. Wolverine and Shadow Comer aren't talking. One of them gets 50 all the way to the other side. Rose Fanatic gets back to the ball. And now we're starting to see Whiskey Business start getting into their groove where they're holding up the midfield line. Wolverine jumps across, just gets a touch on it to make him awkward here. Canadian Gamer misses one. Rose goes up to Canadian Gamer. Here's the pass play I was talking about, 1-2, and Rose Fanatic cannot put it in. But yeah, Bo, like right now, it's more so of whose game plan is working. And right now, both game plans are working, but who's executing it? That's what it's coming down to. And Benjamin loses a 50. And right now, all of blue is retreating to the defensive side. They don't need to push. They just need to sit here and control the game.
Yeah, Whiskey Business is really just coming out here scoring, but they are playing very passive, not pushing or rushing anything. They're just keeping the ball controlled, and that game one goes to them. Canadian leading the front, like the team captain he is. And we see an amazing stat line coming out of this Whiskey Business team. Very well rounded, looking at Nate and Canadian, and Rhodes coming up the back, still having a goal himself. But you see an assist coming from both Canadian and Nate, and then save from Canadian as well. Saving the only shot that Prism put up.
Yeah, and I think they had multiple opportunities. There were just some rollers right in the middle, and they weren't taking it where they needed to be. 'Cause there should be more shots. But my main concern right now is I don't think Benjamin is like feeling comfortable. Like he has 46 points, and we've seen other games where people have low points and they win. But there were certain times where like he was in the middle, or he should have been in the middle when that ball rolled across, and he wasn't there. So I think this is a lot of comms issue that they could just fix. It's very quick, very quick fix. You don't need to sub anybody out. Very quick fix. But
Yeah, I
Whiskey
don't.
Business, I don't know. They're not playing aggressive. They just take what they can get.
Yeah, I don't really see a reason for a sub here. I mean, although it was a 3-0 game, it was still very close in play style. I mean, you didn't see anybody just strictly dominate, but you did see it in other forms of domination, which you will see that anyway. I mean, the past game was working so well for Whiskey Business. Do you expect to see that coming out again?
I think Whiskey Business has them figured out. That last minute they just kept the pedal to the metal. I think they have them figured out. They realize they can't beat them on the 50s. They just got to be patient here. And actually, while I say that, Rose Fanatic wins one, gets on right into the middle. Canadian Gamers up, and that's going to be in the net. Like I said, I think they got them downloaded now. They know that they want to play the 50 game, so they're just going to win the 50s themselves when they can, and they're just going to go fast.
They're really upping the pace compared to last game, as you see just from that kickoff goal. But we do want to see more from this Prism team. I'd love to see this go into, which I saw where tie break, or it'd be tied right in the conference
Yeah, if Whiskey Business
first.
gets a sweep, then the three-way tie for first. And honestly, I think they should play for it, but that's not how that works in RSC. but like right now, we got Canadian Gamer going straight after the ball, and now Orange is on one of the boomer ball modes where they just boom it and try to pray for it, and Blue just booms it right back to him and wait for it. That's a double commit up high, but everybody's awkward. That's a catch. Nate gets it them on the back end. It's a flick over one, actually denied by Shadowcom. Here comes Canadian coming to take a shot. And actually, she's coming out of the net. Nate was coming out of the net. I don't know what he's gonna do with that, but he was coming out of the net, folks. So I'm telling you, every year, every season, actually, prospect just gets better and better. But here we go, Orange going down the sideline. Shadow Kami is actually waiting in the middle. Actually, they have two people waiting on top of each other, and this is what I mean, Bo. Like they're just waiting. They're waiting for somebody to win it out of the corner. But if they win it out of the corner, no one's sitting in that middle. Like, see, they're late to challenges. They're late to a lot of things because no one sits in that middle. And Rose Fanatic gets us up. Here comes actually Canadian Gamers is going to take his time. Corrals the ball, sits on 58 boost. He wants to take a 50. Actually, he fakes one out. Benjamin runs away from it. Actually, gets a bump from behind. Folks, this is getting chaotic here. There's so many people just ducking and diving right now. Canadian gets a bump on the back end. Benjamin gets a bump on Rose Fanatic, who bumps him back and gets the ball. Now it's like going for the air dribble. Shadow Kami is going to slow him down, so there's no air dribble. Canadian's up. Is it going to be a shot from the middle? No, there's a fake, but then Nate catches them. And they're going right back down there, and it's like we saw in the last game. Whiskey Business goes up one. They realize we don't have to press anymore. We're gonna let them bring the fight to us. We got a dominance flick over one. That's right in the middle, and that is a
Oh,
unfortunate save that gets sent all the way back down. And honestly, right now,
oh,
Bo, I think if I was the Prisms, I would just start shooting. Don't worry about infield passes. Shoot until like they make a mistake because obviously they're waiting for every infield pass.
yeah. I mean, they're playing the infield really well. I feel like if they can get towards the edge and create a little separation, maybe get a one-on-one situation like they did a while ago. That flick was a really good play. Unfortunately, somebody else was coming around the edge. If they didn't have that, that would have been a goal for Prism. I feel like they need to make more opportunities like that, and that will lead to scoring chances. But you see Shadow coming
Oh,
in.
that's an unfortunate own goal. There had to be some type of miscom right here. Shadow Kami having a little laugh at himself, saying go for it, but it happens. It happens to the best of us. I mean, everybody
It
watched
does.
Ferdosin own goal last week, so let's not jump to the conclusion here.
I
But no,
mean,
I just
even Zen makes them.
oh yeah. I just think at this point, if Whiskey Business wants to sit in the net, and for those that know me, I love demos, but if they want to sit in the net, just go after them. Start hitting them. Start bumping them. Hey, you might not even just like park in front of them and rule one them. Like just start going after them because they're just looking so comfortable on the ball because there's no one challenging. And yes, you're 50ing them, but after you get a 50, actually Canadians is gonna steal my thunder and go straight for a demo. We got Rose Fanatic up, but Shao Kahn gets a nice tap out. And Wolverine's gonna aid that effort. There's actually a 2v1 on the back end, but then instead of going for the ball, he goes for the boost. And I think right now the priorities are just mixed up. Like even if you're on 14 boosts, and we know this, like it's got to be ball over boost. It's not boost over ball. Now, if this is ranked, we'll talk about something different. But right here is a middle pass, and it's going to flow in off the backboard. And as I say, begin, and it comes from the mistakes of they're not challenging when they need to challenge, and then they take Whiskey Business just takes their opportunities. So I can very see why they're so high up in the rankings and get so many shots because they'll take it when they need it, but right now they don't need to force it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, they're playing such a passive game. They're playing their game right now. They're playing at their own speed. They're not having to change momentum at all. And Rose is having a great game with 2 goals already and an assist for the other goal. He's keeping this team put together. I mean, we saw last game he was like a glue, just there whenever you needed him, and like that right then he's there to keep the attack stopped. And Nate's pushing that downfield, and then we see him passing it to Rose, and that was almost another goal by Rose, but Wolverine is there to stop it. And Carnage,
And right
who
there, Wolverine just turned away. My fault. Go ahead, finish your question.
you're good. Who do you think is going to be for this Prism team? Who do you think is going to be the main changing point? I know Shadow Kami could be one, but you said stuff about Benjamin earlier too.
I think like that. I'm not anyone's coach. I'm not anyone. Of course, like this is my franchise, a Prism Protege. My franchise made them. What a save, but there's going to be a putback from Canadians. It's too easy. He saw it, went right after it. Love the Rule 1 decal. But it's just coming in from the comms. It's coming in from the unfamiliarity because Benjamin jumped right in front of him. And I think they have to sit down and either talk about bringing trios in and fixing this, get more speed, or somebody has to be brave. Like they get a touch on the ball, and we saw it. Wolverine turned away while he was already on the sidewall. Usually, you just stay over the ball, hover, so that they can't go above you, and that's what got them scored on for game or goal number 3. And at this point, you have to ball chase because if you give them a chance, they're going to take a mile. You give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. You give them too many shots, they're going to score all of them because right now they took 10 shots and they got 4 goals, and most of those are usually because they throw it off the backboard and it registers. It's not because they're actually shooting. But here, right now, we got another whiff on the back end, and I think they just want to let this kill. Go ahead, yep, get a good save. Don't even try to play keep it, let it go. Yeah, I think right here again, there's no playoffs, and it's not the beat me. There's no playoffs for you. I think you gotta relax. I mean, we saw this game that it's like they just started chasing the game, and I think there does have to be a sub at some point just to get maybe get some more games in with some people and just kind of figure it out because they only had to save one. Again, they only had to save one, and that was it. And after that, they just took it to them, and they're not being physical enough. They're not being aggressive enough. And usually in prospect and in challenger, if you're aggressive, you're probably going to be one of the better teams, or at least have a better win percentage. And we can kind of see where they're kind of lacking is just communication and just being brave on the ball. And actually, we do have a sub. We have trios coming in. I think they're probably still talking over who's leaving here. But looking at the stats, like going across the board, 2 goals. Nate's the only one that doesn't have a goal, but he does have 1 assist, and he does have the only save. So I mean, they're doing everything right. We're also looking at them, rotating or communicating, and Wolverine's going to go to the bench, and they're going to see if they can change up the play style. And I think this was what you were talking about. This was their original lineup.
Yeah, this is definitely their original lineup. They have more games with these main three, and but saying that, I am looking at the stats, and it's not too much of a separation. Except Trios does have a lot more saves compared to Wolverine, and that is what they need right now is a defensive powerhouse. So I really hope to see Trios come out here and halt that offense from Whiskey Business. As you've seen, it's pretty immovable, but it would be great to see it be stopped. So I wonder what we'll see in this game. And
And we got another 50 right down Rose, Fnatic, Benjamin. That's a huge miss because Rose is going to just chip it right in the middle. Actually, Rose wants to miss too a little bit. We got Canadian Game putting it all the way up. Shadow Comet is going to sky it. Almost gets done. That's another own goal. Trios thought the ball was going to get bounced off, and I think it died right when he started to roll out, and it just kind of hits him. And that's just I don't know. I don't know. I know what I know. I don't know, but I don't know what to do here. And Trio said that's rude for them to not let him hit that ball.
But yeah, I mean, like you said earlier, this is a prospect rank, so anytime you have this team that can rotate properly with each other and just trust itself, that's the biggest part with solo queuing and ranked. And this area is because you can't really trust your teammates. But once you have a team you can trust, you're gonna play miles above what you can, because that's the biggest part of separating pros from regular, even just SSLs, is having that trust in your teammates.
And definitely, we got Shadow coming up. He's going for a double tap. But listen, Shadow coming went flying. I'm telling you, these prospect players, sometimes it's just, they're just one little play away. They're a couple of SPV away from actually being a challenger, maybe even a rival, depending on how good they're playing. Trios gets to save, makes up for the effort when he accidentally own goal last time. And right now, you're not losing. In my head, we're not losing. They got an own goal. That's not them scoring on us. That's just an accidental thing. Nate gets a demo to make sure they don't go. There's a dunk on trios. Benjamin just flicks up in the middle with Rose Fernandez just sitting there. They're all falling. And there's a good save from Shadow Con. There's a demo on the back end again. And now we're seeing the aggressiveness start on Nate again. Every time someone on my ball cam touches the ball, they get demoed. And they're just going after him. Rose Fanatic gets one over. Nate's now loading back up, bangs it off the middle. Shadow coming knocks it down. They can catch Canadian gamers sleeping here, and they do. Can they get a ball? And they do. They push him into the ball, and they say, since we're going to own goal, Canadian, you're going to own goal.
They made him do that. You could tell Canadian was like, no, no, and he just kept getting pushed back into the ball. But that is a great play right there. I mean, they made sure he couldn't get his balls back on the ground where he couldn't save it. But we do need to keep seeing the offense. And it was kind of like you said last game to this Prism team. You were telling them they need to add more demos, bumps into the game. But this Whiskey Business team, I guess they heard you and were like, no, we're going to do that.
Yeah, and yes, they did. At first, I thought this is an open net. Unless he gets actually hits the inside of the bar, they actually can go fast break here. No, they're just gonna reload. None of them have enough boost to actually go. But Trios is just gonna be there, and that's what I mean. Just be there, get a touch on because here comes Benjamin. And guess who's alone? Shadow Kami. All he has to do is reload the ball, go back up and over, dunks one out. But when Prism Proteges went for that one bump play, they got the goal. So now you got to figure it out. You're like, okay, that's what's working. Might get an inside corner bounce, and it does. Canadian Gamers on in a very bad position. Trios misses. Shadow Kami hit the inside of the bar. Benjamin's just trying to slow it down so they don't get fast break here. Trios is up again, knocks it out of the air, but then Canadian picks it up easily. Now right now they're pre-jumping. Teams are players on both sides are pre-jumping. They're going up for the ball. And at this point, I think Trios has elevated everyone's speed. They realize they got to go fast. Gamer bumps one out. Rose Fanatic could not take the shot after Nate tried to dunk one. And right now, Rose Fanatic is just trying to hold down because somebody's getting harassed in the net on my screen, folks. And Rose Fanatic is going to go straight to the sidewall. And Canadian Games is going to go ahead and reload again. Gets the ball, fakes one. Can he get a dunk? No. Shadow Kami knows when he's beaten. He's just going to let it go out. He's going to go up. Understands Canadian Gamer doesn't have any boost either. And this is where you can't get desperate. Both teams cannot get desperate here. You have to play your game, stay in your game, keep going. Because now we got a dunk, dominance dunk, in fact, all the way over. Now we go up. That's a bad tip. This might be another own goal. Actually, Canadian Games might slam it home. And he does, goes under Shadow Kami. Shadow Kami was used for them shooting up. And right here, this is where we talked about committing. You just have to let the ball go. You have to trust that ball is going into the corner. Shadow Kami can deal with a 1v2, but then you kind of turn to a 1v3 because you just pass it straight to him.
And what a game Shadow Kami is having right now. And can they get a kickoff ball? And they do. Benjamin coming in with Trios getting an assist. But Shadow Kami is having such an amazing game right now. I mean, you look at the stats. He has 5 saves and a goal already. And they are putting Whiskey Business to work right now. Putting it in a tied game.
Yeah, I think Shadow Kami's fighting Vertira. Vertira had 13 saves in the game. He's fighting for 8. He's at 5 right now. But I think right there, that goal for Benjamin, I think that should elevate him. He's got his goal. He's had a couple of blunders, but when you get that goal, and we've all been there, we've been having a rough match night, a rough rank day. But when we get that goal or we get that good play, something just comes back alive in you where you'd be like, yeah, we can keep playing because here comes Trios dashing in. He's gonna chip it up and gets demoed again. I want to say that is the 7th demo on this team and combined total. Canadian throws it right back to the corner. Here comes somebody else for a demo. Actually decides to bail out. This could be a quick fast break. Trios to Shadow Kami. Shadow Kami back to somebody else. No, Shadow Kami tries to get around one. Trios is going to be annoying, but Rose Fanatic fakes another one. Goes for the inside 50, so there's no goal on either side. Nate's going to knock it straight down. Get a bouncer. Shadow Kami gets a save to the side. Didn't register, but it was definitely going to the net. Shadow Kami gets another block. We're going to the back wall. They're going to wait for that touchdown, and that touchdown it does. Trios needs to stay on the ball. Doesn't need to just give it back up. And right now they're scrambling for their life. They get a touchdown that might catch them off guard. Trios gets a dunk. Shadokami needs to play a little bit safer. He does. He gets a chip over, but his team needs to get back because Shadokami does. We have seen his mechanics. Nate's gonna try to get to 50. Doesn't get to 50. And right now, I think Proteges kind of switched it up. Shadow Kami's usually in the back now versus when he was usually just taking the ball up. Not saying that he doesn't have a goal. He has a goal here. He has multiple shots, but most of the time he's just sitting in the back. And Canadian Gamer just doesn't want. He's just gonna make sure to let's get out of here. We don't want to do anything unselfish here. And here we go. We're gonna restart here. 0-0. Ball goes out. Shadow Kami might get beat to this. He needs to get to that boost first. He does. Now does Ben get there? Ben does get there as well. Can he get the dominance pinch? That's what he's looking for. Doesn't get that. Shadow Kami clears around one. He's by himself right now. We had a double commit in the corner, knocked straight to the side. Shadow Kami still going by himself, knocks it straight up in the air. Nobody's going for it. Canadian now decides he wants to go for it. Right back to Benjamin. Ben gets one all the way over the corner. He might can get a free pass over here. Misses the free pass. We got a ball out. Ben actually gets a demo. Can it reload? Shadow takes his time. Shadow's going around one. Shadow gets around two. Shadow gets it all the way around three. 3-2. And we will not get a sweep today. And it looks like Whiskey Business will have to settle for second or / third place here because they needed to sweep the tie for first. Shadow Kami, when they needed him the most, he steps up for them.
He did not vanish right here, but we did see a great play there. And like we said, Trios coming in was able to help on that defensive side. He was able to help overall too. But Shadow Kami stepping up in such a big way. I mean, he had 5 saves, 2 of the goals, putting 4 shots up. I mean, they had to do that to be able to stop that Whiskey Business offense. I mean, they had 10 shots on goal and only hit 2 this time. That is so good compared to last game.
Exactly. You had two. I think you almost triple. Actually, you do triple the amount of shots you had in 2 games in just this 1 game. And like we talked about it, if they got physical, they were going to get one. And right before Shadow Coming got a goal, Ben deleted one of their best defenders on the back line. I believe it was Rose Fanatic who got deleted, at least from my point of view. And then right there, Shadow beats one and takes a shot over somebody that's scrambling to respawn. And that's what you have to do to get back into it. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with changing something up. But like once they got physical and they started deleting people, they had that space because now that we're looking at it, Shadow Kami loves to hold on to the ball. So you're thinking, let's demo him and let's get Shadow the ball when he can.
And I'm looking at the polls right now, and Benny has put 3K down on Prism, and the poll is very heavy in favor of Prism right now instead of Whiskey Business. Even though Whiskey has taken this to game or taken 3 or 2 of the games and wanting to take the third. So
And I always think, actually, we got one going quickly up. That's off the sidewall, but then they throw it right back to the same area. Shadow Kami gets a tip away. They need to control the bleeding. They're bleeding right now, and right now Canadian's trying to keep them in. It's a pinch. Dab might be an own goal. Can Nate get back to it? He's just going to pre-jump, and he can't get to it, and it hits the crossbar. Both teams have been robbed from a goal. Two for Whiskey Business and one for the Prison Proteges. And we're coming out gun ho because again, I do believe Whiskey Business still wants to stay high in the polls. And again, you don't want to end off on a sour note going into the playoffs that you're dropping games. The Canadians shoot one way wide out here. We got a fast break shot. Comes gonna go alone, doesn't get one. We got 2 waiting in the back. We got a dominance clear right over Rose Fanatic. That might actually be up. We got Ben going straight for Canadian. Canadian has to make a desperate touch here. Trios going up as well. They're throwing everything at him. Trios gets a pop up that might actually put everybody awkward and still the 100 boost. And Trios is up. And Trios gets another touch. And knowing that's actually a very safe call from Ben. That's a smart call from Ben. And now they just reset. And Bo, that was a hectic minute right there.
it was very hectic. I mean, and right outside of the first minute. But yeah, right outside of that first minute, as you call it, is Shadow Kami just comes in, scores by himself, gets a good clear over. But could we see them take 2 and 2 right here? That would be great. A really big switch around seeing trios come in and
Oh,
they
we got a
immediately
fake
win
kickoff here,
both
and it
games.
doesn't work. And actually, it's going to be Canadian all alone. It doesn't whiff from Trios. And it's one of those ones where you think somebody has it and they miss, or you miss, and now everybody just looks silly. We get a bump on the back end. They're going to give it right back to them. Rose Fanatic with the infield pass, then the bump, and then Nate just has to slot it in because that was technically their third man.
Yeah, that was a great bump there by Rose Fanatic. He was past it, then it was like he did what he's supposed to. He's going through his preparation, saying, "Okay, I passed it. Now I got to look for the bump."
And actually,
And then,
looking back at it, Trios got a little bit of that bump too. Rose Fanatic actually hit Ben into Trios, and then he got onto that little we were one wheel. That's what happened to him. That's why he couldn't get to it. And then they're gonna reload again. Shadow Kami steals a boost from somebody. So, I mean, they have to go all the way back, retreat, ball right back to Shadow Kami. We say if you give Shadow Kami time, he's gonna do something to it. Fakes one, he's going for a third, doesn't get that, but he steals their boost, and he's gonna be annoying here. Like I said, the teams that are usually and there's another shot doesn't register, goes all the way over. Is somebody back? It's going to be trios. We got a demo on Rose Fanatic that's going to open up on the defensive side, but we got a bad touch. Nate's going to give it right back to him. Double tap off the back. No, Rose Fanatic shoots a little bit low, so that means Ben can go get it. He had zero. He had zero boost, and the only place you had to shoot it for him to save it was that place. And now we got trios looking for a double tap, and it actually hits the inside of the post, rolls up, and rolls out. Like if you think Rock Lee hates you, you pull up Trio's name will pop up because that is very unlucky here, and that ball goes right over. Rose just stole a mid boost. Trios is going to gather up, takes a demo. Nate gets a bomb. There's no one else there. Canadian Gamer actually Ben spawned back just in time, uses all his boosts, and he's just trying to bait her. Gets Goomba stomped, and that's an open net. I think they thought he had the ball, but if once we look at it, he gets completely Goomba stomped here, and Rose Fernandez has to tap it again.
they got really aggressive on that play right there. I mean, Ben got bumped. I guess they trusted him to clear it out and hit it upfield towards them, but both of them shouldn't have went. I felt one of them should have still stayed back. You know, you never know what's gonna happen. Oh, Trio almost with an amazing shot. Ben, they're putting pressure on right now, and you see Shadow coming up, and there's Trios there to back him up. This is how you need to play. They're not cutting rotation too bad. They're sticking with each other, but they're not sticking on top of each other, which happens a lot in the range of prospect league. But Carnage. So
Oh
we
yeah,
see the game is 2-1 right now. Do you think Prism can come back right here?
I think Prism can come back, but like I said, now you have to get a little bit aggressive. And someone called 911 because Trios is getting robbed. I think that was his second shot that hit a post or hit a bar that didn't favor no one, not even the other team, and just no one can just get there. We got a dunk. We get a good little tip out, no boost. Nate tries to get to it. Now Ben's gonna go to the other side. But I just think at this point, like I said, Whiskey Business is starting to demo you, and I always say you have to fight back. Whether somebody just goes demo chasing and there's a bump on Nate on the third man, and guess what? Nate's just sitting back there alone, but he can't get to it. Ben recovered very kindly. There it is. Shadow Comic starting to bump Rose Fanatic. That's an open net. It's a shot to the other side. I don't think he was. I don't even think he had the angle. So we cannot fault Ben on now, and we can't fault Shadow, but it's there. But it's going to hit the back post, and it's going to favor Canadian Gamer, and it might favor Whiskey Business to take it as a score line says 3-1.
Yeah, I mean it's not looking good for this for this Prism team. Whiskey Business is just hammering. It's reminding me of the first two games that we had, where they just kept hammering and hammering, and it kept working out. I mean, they already have 8 shots on goal already, and 3 of them have hit. That is a great score line to have. But then you look at the other side, and it's 3-1. 3 shots on goal with only 1 score. You can't really have that if you're trying to compete with this Whiskey Business team.
No, you can't have that at all. And like I said, when they had all those shots, it's because they were in our face. But I think it's one of those things is like you can be a bully for so long, when you get hit back in the mouth, it doesn't feel good. And again, they were bullying them in game three, but next thing you know, Nate and them start coming back even harder. Like they did have more demos on them, but I think Prison Projects had a more like the smart physical plays. But now, like I said, it's just gun ho on them, and it will be that way. It'll be 3-1. They might get one for the road just for stat
Hmm.
padding. No, it's just gonna be another shot on the stat pads, and we'll go 3-1 in favor of Whiskey Business here.
And Rose Fnatic playing that amazing bridge across the team. I mean, 2 assists there, covering for the rest of the game, and all 3 players on the team having this goal. That's what we said earlier. This team is very well rounded, very good playing together, because they just keep shooting and shooting and shooting, and all 3 of the main players have a great shooting percentage and higher goals than most people in the league. So that
Yeah,
is the end of our series. So what did you think of it?
just going at it, I just think, I don't quote me on this. I know Emmy ends today. I don't know if Prospect ended today or they end Monday. But if Prospect does end Monday, I think Prison Protege should come out. And again, I think they should just be physical. And I think for Whiskey Business, I think they need to figure out, how to put these shots in. And when you get a lot of shots, it looks good on the stats. But when you get to playoffs, you got to be clinical. You got to be very deadly. And that's the only thing I think Whiskey Business needs to just, lock in on getting those shots and converting them. Because again, they beat Prison Proteges in game 3 in shots, but they still lost. And you can put up 30 shots, but if they put up one and it goes in, that's the way you lose. Then yeah, K-Flip confirmed that Prospect is Monday, so they got Prism's eliminated. The Whiskey has a chance at number 1 seed, and I believe they do have to sweep. The only way you sweep is everything has to be perfect. But again, if you're already in playoffs, don't stress it. Don't stress it. But moving on to our MVP, who do you think is the MVP? Because for me, I think Rose Fanatic did everything there. Like everybody looked great, but I think Rose Fanatic really got down and dirty at the end with them.
That's what I was gonna say too. I mean, Rose was there. Canadian was really good, but he played that third man really well. He's really good at playing that captain role, sitting back, sitting patiently. But I will say Rose showed out that game and that whole series. Really, he was at the top of the leaderboard. Even when the team lost, he was at the top. He was good at passing, good at scoring, good at saving. He was just good all around the pitch.
Mm,
And Carnage, I know we do have another game tonight. Who do you think, or what do you think about that game?
Well, folks, you get rid of one bakery and then you have another one because whiskey business is out, but buns is still for the amateurs. And for 7 deadly sins, we have the sloth coming into today. And looking at it, like I said, Canadian gamer, I'm pretty sure he plans this every time we get one bakery, we get the whole franchise for some reason on his stream. So, but shout out to Canadian making sure that happens for his boys and looking at their stats. 20 and here's where things get a little dicey. So we got 24 and 27 bakery. It's win or go home for bakery. There's no losing in this at all. They cannot 3-1. If I remember correctly, someone said they have to 4-0. There's no losing in this. It's all or nothing, and they have to trust each other when it comes to this game. For the Slaw, you're 8-43, but I've been in this position where you're not going to playoffs, but it feels so good eliminating them, and like the stats are all favoring the bakery right now, but it's going to feel so good for them to eliminate them. And the Sloths make saves. They can make these saves. They have more saves than the Buns of Steel. Does that mean they get shot on more? Who knows? But again, the saves against are pretty close. And I just, look at the stats yourself. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, looking at these stats, I mean, you can clearly tell Bundts still is a better team. Not even just looking at the record, but looking at all the other stats. The goals against is the only thing that I really see is and saves, of course. But shooting percentage wise, they this Bundts Steel team is very high in the shooting percentage, which is a very good thing to have, especially at these lower ranks. Which don't see it too often, where most of your shots are hitting. And like I said, it's a great thing to see. And what do you see that really intrigues you, maybe player wise or other
What's
about this team?
intriguing me right now is just like there's a lot of goals over there for the Buns of Steel. Rennie plays. It looks like he plays almost every game. So does Cask. I don't know who's the new person. I think Slash is the new person. But at this point in time, I don't think you need to think about anything. Both teams don't need to think about anything that's come in here because both their shooting percentage is kind of low. But I just favor that if Bundes still comes out and they get the early goal, they set the tone. I always believe at this type of moment in any tier, any professionalism, you get the first goal that sends you to playoffs, that could send you to playoffs, and you start increasing on that positivity, and you feel good. But if you get scored on first, you got to have the mental capacity to come back. And like I said, the Sops are playing for fun; they don't have to stress about anything. I think that's the best one. Like, hey, we're just here. That's you. That's you on the line right here.
I mean, we could see something like we saw with Prism a while ago, taking that sweep away, keeping them out of that first place spot unless they sweep next week. But I mean, Sloth, like we said earlier, a team that has nothing to play for or nothing to lose is a scary team. because you don't know what they're going to come out here. They could just come out swinging as hard as they can because they don't have anything to gain or lose from here. But
Exactly.
Rainy Boy is very good. Looks very good on this team. Casca being the captain, they're very similar in numbers, but Rennie has played very well this season.
Yeah, he's coming out, and it shows him and Cass are making a lot of plays. And Cass, as the captain, I think this is where you step back and you play just like Canadian. Canadian played the safe. I think most captains do that. They play the safe and they release the hounds basically. You release the other players to get it done, and you just clean up whatever's going on right here. And then for the Sloths, like I said, this can get crazy. They could just, everybody ball chase. And, that's the most annoying thing is when everyone just chasing you, chasing the ball, whatever they can do. Because again, you're just having fun. I think we're waiting for the Bundts still to get in here. So we're not just talking to talk, folks. We're just making sure. But everybody in amateur I think the last Emmy, I don't know who the last Emmy team is in the playoffs. They're here watching. They're just hoping for one win from the Sloths. They're not looking for a sweep for the Sloths. They need that one win so they can go to sleep feeling good and come back Monday trying to get into the finals.
I was gonna say, do you know when amateurs do
I think
end?
they play Monday and I think they do the finals on Wednesday. I think. Don't quote me on that. Nobody quote me on that one. But we got but we got him joining in right now. Rennie Boy looks like he's gonna be the first one going off. Actually, no, it's gonna be opposite. It's gonna be Stone versus Cass going for the kickoff here. And let's see how it goes. Kickoff going out, and it goes straight into the blue half. This might be an open net. No, it's complete. Where Rennie Boy goes quickly, make sure to cut that down. It's a pinch over the head. Cass goes straight up, touches the ball outwards. We got Slaps. Slaps misses it. Rennie misses it. There's an open net on the other side. Now there's a getting touch around in the Mazamune, which is a dominant hitbox. So we might see some power plays coming out of this car if they catch it correctly. And right now, I I believe that Buzz is still trying to come out swinging. They almost got caught on the counter, but right now they have nothing but Cass is going to release the pressure. And now they just need to get the boost. Cass is going to go for a shot. Actually gets a weird back pass. Rennie Boy's alone. It's 1v1 right now. Is a thrown off the backboard. A double tap that is missed. Ring throws it to the side. Here comes Slash. Slash is going to go on the other side of the ball. Slash is going to look for the flick. Does get the flick. It's going to roll. Barely gets it away. Slash is going to steal 100 and run away. Pitter's going to throw it up. Cass is just waiting. Cass knocks the ball over. We got Slash stepping back up. Slash is going to get dunked. This one might be open for Rennie. Rennie's going to play safe here. Catches are clear. And now we start getting into what we were talking about. And Rennie Boy's going to get the dunk. On my screen, it looks like they try to clear it and then he gets the dunk. But right before that happened, like I said, after that minute, he actually gets a double tap off the ground. But like I said, I think after that minute they started slowing down and they're favoring their stats that we saw. They're starting to play back a little bit. Let the other team just keep banging it until we can find it. And Rennie Boy's gonna take his time. I think he has 100 boosts, fakes one. Europe's gonna go up. Pitter's sitting down there. He makes it drift around. Doesn't know what he wants to do. Jumps, misses. We got a tip ball. We got a one-on-one situation. Here we go. It's a soft shot. Somebody might get dibbled on the back end. There's a dunk from Cass, and it's amateur madness right now. When the ball is awkward, that's when the funniest things start to happen here, folks. But Bo, going before and even after the goal, what are you seeing here?
I'm seeing a very offensive team of Bundts is still coming out. I mean, they're playing back, but they're also, whenever they get the ball on offense, they're just peppering the goal. I mean, you look and they already have one shot apiece, and they're just keeping it coming right there. Rennie putting it on net and Slash. But then you see Casca sitting back, like you said, he needs to play like Canadian did in the last game, sitting back and knowing what his team needs him to do. And
Oh,
a
we got an
very bad
open net. It
oh,
really chipped him and made him backflip. It's one of those if he had both wheels or all four wheels on the ground, he flips forward, but he gets flipped and his wheels go back. So it is a very unfortunate. Sorry to cut you off there, but yes, Cass is playing that third man role very well.
and a Slash score right there. He, but yeah, I mean, this team is playing very well together. It's very reminiscent of the other bakery team. I mean, they are playing so well together, and Casca just there, and they're playing these kickoffs well as
Oh, we got a
playing
pinch.
these kickoffs good as well. But we just need to see something come alive in these sloth team. I know we said they're not playing for anything, but there is that good feeling of knocking another team out, like you said. But what else do you think we need to see from either team?
Oh, we had a team bump, and there was a bump on the other side. And for Sloths, they're missing a lot of opportunities, and it's from Wilson. Actually, they might not miss this one. Actually, Rennie says no, thank you. I'll cover myself. And that was a clear on the back end. And I want to say that's Pitter Patty. He might get caught out here. There's a whole bunch of whips. Pitter Patty has 34 boosts trying to beat Cass. Does beat Cass. Ball goes right into the middle. And for me, I think the Sloths are very, and that's going to be an open net. Cass might get it in there. Cass says it's Captain Cass today. He went from 62 points to 162. And like I said, when you have low points, doesn't mean you're not doing anything wrong. You're just doing what you need for the team. But going back to it, I think the whiskey. I don't know if whiskey business swapped over to their alt accounts, or is why it took them too long. Because they're playing very patient right now. The amateur team is playing very. Buns is still playing very patient, extremely patient. I think they could even rival the whiskey business patiently, while like who can sit on their half and just wait for something to happen, you know. And then Rennie Boy's gonna go up, he's gonna get a tip over one. This is a triple commit here. He's gonna get a touch just to make sure they're awkward here. Cast those off the back wall. Now we got a double commit. This is where they need to capitalize. Somebody needs to get a touch to this. This might roll all the way in, and it does. And now when I just another caster occurs, I tell they're being patient and that they rush it. When you're up, you don't need to rush it. You just need to sit there and be calm about it. But I think for them, they just need to be calm. I think they're a more mechanical team, actually. Whiskey, or not Whiskey Business, Buns of Steel, and Buns of Steel just needs to use that to their advantage. Throw it off the backboard. We see that they struggle in the air. Just throw it up. Throw it up in the air. Like right here, Bitter Patty's got to go up. That might be an actual miss. He gets a soft touch down, and right there, just throw it up. And when he knocks it down, you take the shot because that's how they've been getting their goals by just peppering the net, throwing it high, and then getting a touch to it.
And I know this team has been playing really well, both sides of the ball, really. And we just need to see something more come out. I mean, Europe was there to finish that goal earlier. I feel that they could have. They need to keep that momentum going. They need to watch for them committing more, which I don't think that Bundts still has made that same mistake since it happened in an
Oh,
own goal there.
the most annoying thing is a Jack the Skeleton goal explosion. Because if you own goal, he just laughs at you. But right there, I don't think there was anything Europe could do. Europe turned out of the net and it was going to go to the back post. I think you just get caught in that awkward position here.
And that's 3 own goals tonight, all coming from, or actually 4, and 3 of which have came from the team opposing the bakery. I mean,
You, yeah, somebody needs to go ahead, admin, go ahead, look into Canadian Gamer, possibly, pulling a Young Money Clan out here, making sure everybody, gives them a game, gives them a series. And
check your
actually,
bank
here we go.
account.
We got an aerial. Pitter's going to try to throw it. Oh, gets Demo for his efforts. Cass just needs to play patient. You got 10 seconds. You don't need to rush. Sloth, I think you just, try to get a goal because you're not going to get 4 in 10 seconds. You're definitely going to get 3, 4, and 3. And we're just going to call it here. Slash wants one for the road. Actually, they might get one for the road. Rennie's up. Cannot snipe. He's still trying to keep it up. They're going to play keep ups here. And it's going to be very interesting. Are they going to try to air dribble? Are they going to chip it up? And now you just 50 your own teammate. You're going to put it all the way back down. Slashes actually does a half flip to get back. And Cass tries to put it down on the ground and throws it to his corner, but it finally touches the ground, folks. It's 4-1 in favor of Buns and Steel. And Buns and Steel are 3 games away from playoffs. Hopefully they're not watching, they're not talking about this. 1 game at a time. Sloth, same thing for you. 1 game at a time. You just need one. They need 3. And I think that's the biggest pressure. Is every step you take towards getting to that playoff, it just feels so much heavier.
And we see such a similar playstyle coming out of both bakery teams. I mean, 8 shots on goal, 4 of them hitting a really good average coming out. But you see that similar playstyle as in both of them are playing back a little bit. We did see that one slip up that led to the goal. But other than that, you're seeing very similar even between these two different rank or these two different tiers of our playing. But you do want to see a little bit more aggression coming out of this sloth team. I feel they're coming out here, they're playing well, but they do need to score more if they're going to keep up with this bunch of steel offense and
Yes, I think,
carnage. Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
going on to that. No, you hit it right on it. You hit it right. Like they're missing touches that should be in the net. We see it. So I don't. think they're nervous. I just think, you don't wanna get outpaced. You know they're faster than you, and you know if you get caught out, you don't wanna make that wrong shot. We all been there. You shoot it and they bang it all the way back on our net, and we're just like, "Oh." But, it's just one of those things, like, again, I advocate for it. If a team's better than you, go bump them. Like, they go bump them. See how fast, like, the mechanics fly out the window because they're gonna be nervous here. And we're getting into game 2. The game takes about 20 seconds before they start counting down. Here we go, countdown, folks. Then we're gonna start off game 2, and again, it's whoever gets the first goal in the game, I think, sways it in their favor. Rennie Boy's gonna go up in the air. Actually, they're gonna change their momentum. Actually, Rennie's gonna get a tip drill here. And like I said, they're just waiting for him. And kudos to Cass, because as soon as the kickoff, Cass went straight to defense and sat and watched them go to work here.
Yeah, Kaz, like we said, he's just playing a good third man, keeping his eyes out, seeing what his team needs him to do, and then doing it. He's a very similar parallels between him and Canadian, and that's a great thing to say. I mean that with the most respect for both players, because I've seen both of them play before, and they just play so well against other teams. They don't fold under pressure, and even when they start adding those demos, they don't get angry or because, like you said with the demos, not only do people get nervous, some people get angry about it because they think it takes no skill. When I mean
Oh yeah.
it does.
It definitely takes skill. When you're chasing somebody at supersonic speed, you're trying to figure out where they're going because the higher you go, the more sporadic that movement is. And even in anime, like their movement is so sporadic, you just got to catch them when you can catch them. And right now, they're just lobbing the ball. Like I said, there's another miss. There's two misses. Ren's gonna go. He gets a tap up. And at this point, they don't need to throw everything. Cass is going to get a knockdown. Here comes Slasher. Slasher's going to try to get it in. All three players are up. He bumps him. And now there's an amateur psycho all the way to the other side. And now they're just kind of throwing to try to get the ball. Cass is going to try to hurt him and beat him. Gets a 50 across. They just need to let the ball roll across. Now the soft's going to get. He's actually on 0 boost. All he can do is boom it. They're going to boom it right back to him. But here we go. This is where Buzz still got caught. Last time I watched the machine, they kept double committing. Rennie's actually going to go get a demo. And they must be listening to this stream. They're like, before they hit us, we're going to hit you. Here goes a shot. It's going to go up and down. That's another double commit. Both teams are panicking on different sides of the ball. Orange is panicking on defense. Blue is panicking on offense. When they're up, there's a free ball up off the backboard. This might be an open shot. There's no open shot again. It's not on target. Rennie's going to corral it. Smart play here. Cash gets a free clear here. He does, but it's not going to be on target. It's going to go all the way to the left side. And the chaos has stopped here. Slashes Tony Hawk out of the net. Europe's going to try to control the ball. He's going to go for a 50. Does not win his 50. And now, again, Buns still are now calming down and just waiting for the 50s. And now they're starting their rotation again. And Bo, I'm telling you, the one thing that's gonna happen, somebody's gonna overcommit too much. There's a shot that's blazing off the backboard from Moretti. But Bo, we talked about it. Somebody's gonna overcommit, and it's gonna be a bad day for somebody or a good day for the other.
Definitely. I mean, we've seen patience coming from both of these teams, and as I say that, we have just been
Yeah,
bad on
man.
these calls.
All right, Chad. We're gonna go mute here. HUD will talk to you because obviously we're just messing over every team that we talk about as soon as we talk to them.
Hi everybody, it's
Especially-
HUD. Just kidding.
But yeah, I mean, both of these teams have played patiently. Both need. I mean, we do need to see more coming out of this sloth team, as in offense, like we've been saying. But I feel we've seen a little glimpse of that. They put. Never mind. They've put no shots on the goal, but we've seen a little bit more pressure, and there's a miss right there. I mean, I don't know if it's comms, if it's confidence, if it's just they're playing through the emotions. Because, I mean, used to play organized sports a little bit, and you do that whenever you feel that there's no reason to play. You start playing through the emotions. It's not a good thing to do, but you do it unintentionally just because you like. Why do I need to try if it's for no reason, you know?
Oh yeah. And right now we got another clear all the way back down. Rennie Boy's gonna take a shot with the Mazume. That was a powerful shot, but Slash is gonna try to take another one and throws it to the side. And like I say, if I was the sloth, like we're trying infield passes and it's not working. We're trying to go over them. They can fly up and get it. So again, at this point, right there, you got one man chasing somebody in the net, and there it is. They're going to start double committing here. Cass got to go first, get it past one. This might actually be an open net. That was the third man that made a bad tip right across the net. There's Rennie Boy again. There's a save. Slash needs to just corral it, can't corral it. And now they're going to reset themselves again, and there's being annoying. 0 boost. And I think another problem is Sloth is always on, and there's a bomb. There's a good save from Europe. Europe is saying we can still win this thing. But most of the time, I'm looking at every player. They're not having more than 40 boosts. And I think this is their problem. They don't have boosts. But at the same time, they're also not in position to make the right shots. And I think they're playing with the Bundts still. Don't get me wrong here. Like I played with the Bakery, against the Bakery, all of that. And they always have a good team. But I think there's a demo play coming in, and they finally get one out on them. As we were speaking into existence, I said they have to get after them, and they do. That leaves Flash in a very awkward position. Almost gets the save. Cash saw it too late. 2-1, and now you think, hey, that's how we got the first goal. Do we do it again with 39 seconds left?
You would think so, and I know they could be looking for it now, though. So that is another risky part of that, because they could keep 2 people more back. Like right
That's
now,
risky. We got a
Casca's
double commit. Here comes Cass. Cass, make sure it stays in. We got Captain America for the Bundts still right now, keeping it in, and it goes right over Slash. Loses to 50. This might be dangerous. Here comes Peter Patty. Saved away. I don't know who got to it. It was a double commit, but it's a tip away. Europe's going to turn back around. Stone's going to try to reload. He's picking up every boost pad he can. Europe just picked up 100. We got a backman pick up 100. Pity Patty, die. He had it. And this is where we were talking about fake them. We go to 2-0. One more step closer for the Bundts to steal.
Oh my gosh, Rennie had 8 shots on goal just himself with 2 goals. I mean, it's not as good of a shooting percentage as we're used to seeing from Rennie, but you can't knock this Sloth team. I mean, they saved 5 out of 10 shots. I mean, and only 2 of them went into the net, so that's not bad at all. We just
Oh,
need to see offense, like we've
I
said.
think we have a sub coming in. Actually, Slash is gonna go take a seat. We got Hero Bear coming in. And I'm gonna be honest. If I was, I would not do this. You're winning. You're literally you're winning. That's like maybe something happened at the end when they gave up that goal and they realized something. But like, let's be honest, we're winning. We don't want to. We're 2-0 because if you lose this game as a captain, because captains makes this decision unless they're like like some good team, they everybody makes a decision, they all talk about it. But if this is a sole decision you're making here, you're putting your one game on the line right here. So if he doesn't come out swinging or Sloth gets the first goal, all eyes will fall on Cass here. This is a big momentum change right here.
It's a very risky strategy because you're taking somebody straight off the bench who you don't know whether they're going to be coming out hot or they could come out cold. And so you're taking a gamble. But you also got to look at the fact that last game was a 1-goal game. So, I mean, that's a scary spot to be in when you try to add in a completely different person who hasn't played this whole series. So, we got to see something come out of Hero, and I hope that we do, because I'd hate to see them drop a game, because I think you said...
And actually, Cass is just gonna make sure we stop talking about it because Rennie gets a good 50 and Cass just completely dusts them here. And again, first goal, every time they got the first goal, they won. They set the tone, whether they give a goal back or not. They're right back in it 3 seconds up. And in Sloth's head, you gotta think, yo, we need to stop. We just need to fake a kickoff or something. They're gonna fake a kickoff on them, go straight into the corner. Then right now, I think they're just feeling themselves now. There's a tap over. It might be a free clear. Cass gets a free clear, but Rennie actually runs into him at the same time, gets a 50 out. Rennie's going to chase the ball. And actually, Hero's playing more third than Cass is now. So I think they're just going to switch up who's going to be third. Oh, my goodness. We talked about it. They need to put it on the net, and it doesn't happen. It was open. No one was sitting in the net. Hero's not going to go challenge. The ball's up. Rennie's got all day long, but they get a tip away. But Bo, we talked about it, and then right before our eyes, open net, and they just missed it.
Yeah, I mean, they got to capitalize on those opportunities. I know open nets are the hardest thing to score in the game. I mean, I know you missed a few. I know I missed a few. I don't know anyone who's played and has it. And as I'm talking about it, Pitter Patter comes in and scores.
And then you got to look at this. TSB misses on the back wall. and then leaves Rennie open. And now, again, like I said, the steps get heavier. It feels good when you get the goal, but now when it's 1-1, and now the Slavs realize they're in the game, but Rennie actually going to go up with it. Gets 100 boost. He's going to give it down. He's going to wait for it. Wait for him to slap it to him. Gets a tip over. No one's joining him for the attack. He gets a demo on the back end. They're going to quickly get, and actually they got him. Bad side spawn. Everybody's going to be a little bit hungry here. The ball's open. It's going to be a shot. Knocked away from Europe. And now we got Rennie. Rennie's going to corral the ball. Gets it around 14 boost. Tries to win it. Gets a 50 straight down. Just hit the ball. Misses the ball. We got off TSB, knocks it off. Double tap coming in. Cass misses it. Here comes Rennie. Rennie's going to keep it high in the air, buy some time. And now it seems that they got scored on. They know what they have to do. They have to get it back. They're bumping. They're grinding. They're pushing. Cass just dragged. I believe that was Stone all the way up the sidewall. Open shot, no open shot. We got two people mirroring the ball, and then that's what I think is going to hurt Buzz Steel is two players are mirroring the ball, but when he's going to get a shot off, he's going to beat all of three. And again, when you whip a ball in front of net, everybody thinks you have it. And when you don't, you can see the panic at the very last second. I don't have it. And everybody tries to get to it. Rennie Boy is just, his stats don't lie. People say his stats don't lie. He has 2 goals. I think he had 2 goals the last game. I think he had 1 or 2 in another game as well. He's being the offensive prowess, and Cass is being whatever he can be for them. And Hero Bear is actually coming in being third, so they can do that. Cass is going to chase the ball, can't get it. Rennie's just going to toss up in the air. Look at Hero. Hero's so far back. And actually is an open net. No, Rennie's got to go back now. It's a 3v1. It's a bad flip from Pitter Patty. And honestly, I don't know if they just don't know how to, like, I think they're panicking. They see the open net, or they see we got time. And, you know, when you're not used to time with a team that's aggro like this, you don't know what to do because here comes Cass, and it's another save. Hero's just going to keep it in. He's not going to rush it. Go to your corner. Actually, it's an open net. This is going to be the first open net they're going to get from it. Pitter Patty wins the 50, gets the goal with half a game left. The nerves may set in here. The nerves very well might set in on this.
And that is 2 goals there for Pitter Patty, just showing some offense this game. I guess he's going to be stepping up for this team, and we could see another goal here. He's sitting, waiting patiently, and so is Haven. Or so, he's just sitting back. All of them are playing pretty well in rotation.
Bear might actually get a touch out. He does. There's only one person back. Rennie has to win it. When Rennie does, everyone's in net. They're watching. They don't have boost, and he leaves the ball. And now the Whisk-y business is doing the same thing I said Prism Proteges needs to stop doing, is leaving the ball. Actually, he might get a redirect goal. Doesn't, just skins it all the way across. Even amateurs are trying to pull out everything they got. Your playoff life is on the line. You got to start doing what you got to do. This might be an open net. If somebody get in, no tips around Rennie. He might beat Rennie. No, Rennie gets a 50 all the way, and he's going to get the 100 boost. Pitter Patty's at 0, which means he's just going to sit there and watch. Knock it straight to the middle. That means somebody's open. No shot on net. And Bear goes straight into the net. He's actually just letting Rennie and Cass do the chasing. And you got to think that's going to bite him in the neck right here. No. They get lucky here. And now you're thinking there's a team bump on the other side. And like we said, I think the chemistry is not there. They should have just stuck with it because they're team bumping. They're panicking. There's a pinch over one. He gets it right to you. And Rennie's almost on goal and throws Bear out. They are going hectic in the comms. Because you can see the way they're panicking. Cass just needs to get the ball out. They do force the ball away. They can take a moment to breathe. That was over 45 seconds, maybe even a minute of them getting hammered. Now we're going to go right back to it. 1 minute left. You cannot give them a goal. They're just tapping right to the side. You tap it. Somebody got to clear it. It's just floating over your net. Cass gets it over 1. There's only 1 person back. Rennie's going to go for it. Cass is going to go for it. 2-on-1. Soft touch. 2. That is going to be 2 goals in favor of Rennie. 32 with 46 seconds left. And I give kudos to Sloss. They were throwing everything at him. And honestly, good goal from the Bundts still, but I think Sloth just wanted more. They just caught him off guard. Sloth is really playing good now. They're going to get a kickoff goal. Rennie gets a nice touch, but it might not be nice enough, but it gets 50 over another player. No, doesn't get it. Rennie beats 1. There's open net. They just need to keep it in. Cass might get a chip shot in. Does he get it? No. But now we got Bear all the way up. There's no one back. They need to get somebody on the back post. They do. Somebody's waiting on the back post. Rennie's actually getting harassed out of the net. Make sure he can't make a save. And now they're standing on the business right now. They're going right back at him. Got a ball going right to the middle. Herbo's gonna wait for Cash. Cash is gonna bang it out. Again, you don't need to wait, but actually Cash touches it. It's an open net. No. And I think right here you don't need to throw you don't need to throw everything because look at everybody all the way up. There's no one back. Rennie needs to make a touch. He does make the touch. This could be the last chance right here. It's gonna stay in the air. Somebody's up. I heard him jump on somebody else's screen. It's a tip ball. They just need to slap it on the ground. You get a 3-2. But Boa, let's be honest, was it convincing that this lineup can finish out this series?
I mean, we did have our doubts in the beginning because Hero missed that wall read off the beginning whenever they first scored, but he did turn it around. He did play pretty well. I still am not 100% sure about the switch, just because you see it was still a 1-point game, and it came a lot closer than the other one. So, I mean, what do you think about the switch? And it
Oh,
seems
and
like we're going back.
they're going
Yeah.
right back to it. I think they just want to get his game in because I do the same thing. I want everybody plays one stream match so you know how it feels. So maybe that's maybe that's what they were doing. Let's
Breaking that ice a little bit.
yeah, because let's say if you go to the finals, you got to step in. Hey, we don't need cold feet over here. But going
Yeah.
back at it, Rennie had 420. Peter Patty matched him with goals. The only thing Peter Patty had over Rennie was a save, but matched him. Peter took two shots, 2 goals. So I think you really sit and you let Peter Patty go. Like this is the amateurs last. This is the last game for the regular season. So I say you let Peter Patty go. You take the chain off him. You let him just ball chase, and the other two just sit there and let him do. Because I think that's what the Bundts are still doing. They're just letting Rennie run all over the place,
Letting them
and
cook.
they let him cook. But at the same time, you also got to calm because I think at that end, Rennie started running into people. They're not calming fast enough, or they're just not trusting it. Especially when you're tied. Things get a little hectic here. But I think right here, if I was Sloth, go have fun. Go have fun. Ball chase. Get the ball. Just make sure you're touching the ball. We've seen it multiple times.
And I know that I just made a gamble myself. I'm hoping it pays off, but I hope that they can change it around in this game. And I put down about 2,800 points on Sloth winning this, so I hope that they can turn this game around.
And right
And
now, I think Slash is adding more to their firepower. There's a 50 ball out there because again, Slash starts being aggressive. They start scoring. So does Rennie. We got another double commit. Everybody misses. Another miss. Rennie gets a free touch. It's a 1v1 right now. Now it's a 2v1 in favor, but he's gonna get that touch that actually beats him. And I know why that beats him. He thinks Rennie cannot get back to this. Look how far he is from it. And then the dominance touch gets so far behind it. You're putting everything on the back of Rennie right now. Rennie said he's going to pull this all the way back to playoffs. Because I talked to Rennie before. I played games with Rennie. And Rennie wants to go to playoffs more than anybody. He knows he said we haven't been playing well. We're going to start playing well. We're going to do it today. And they're doing it right now. He's doing it right now. The whole team's doing it right now. But again, they have to be convincing because if the Sloth smells even one bit of blood, we saw it. They can even it up. They can get a goal right here. And again, I think they need to let Pitter go. They just need to stop whipping, let Pitter go, let Pitter do him. We just need to be there because right here, open shot gets blocked all the way back down. That's not going to go in. They got lucky. The goal is not wide enough. Ball is knocked over their head. Another miss, and there's nothing but misses. Blocked all the way back down. Rennie just knocks it right open to Pitter Patty. Pitter's going to get the goal. And this is where I say going fast can get you caught up because right here he doesn't understand it, and Slasher's coming in.
that is a great goal by Peter Patty, bringing them back into the game. They just need to make sure that this lead does not get out of reach, and that maybe they can even hold it. I don't think they've held the lead one time in this series. That would
They
be a
have
great thing.
not had a lead all the game. And listen, it doesn't mean you don't need a lead. You just need to get the overtime win at this point. Actually, Rennie's gonna show some mechanics on him. Gets a double tap, being patient, and again, Rennie makes up for mistakes. Bundts still are mentally strong right now because remember, every time somebody made a mistake, they went down and got it back in blood.
That was such a good goal by Rennie. I mean, he's showing why he is the best player on this pitch. He's showing that Peter Patty is good, but he's not as good as him.
Oh yes, and
Eh,
right now here we go. Slash going up, double tap. He gets the double tap, and the
mm.
SSG coming out ladies and gentlemen, they're starting to feel it. They're heating up, and Sloths. Stone gets caught there. If I was third man, you have to go up. We know they're mechanically better, and it might be a 25% chance that they get it because they haven't been scoring out all day. But you leave nothing to chance here, and now you're up 2-0. And I'm thinking you don't go on cruise control, but you start playing like Whiskey business. You just sit back, let them boom you the ball, and eventually you go get that goal.
Yeah, because I mean, right now they really just need to cruise. They got a 2-goal lead, so there's no reason for them to be risking anything because
Yep,
they
man.
need this 4-0. So
Canadian Gamer might be in the VC with them because I'm talking about it and they're starting to do it. And I see Canadian in the chat. Canadian, I think you're
uh-oh.
cheating. Oh, there's a pitch all the way back down. That actually releases all the pressure because Rennie was third man and got deleted. He got completely deleted. There was no one in net, and that pinch saves them. And now they're smelling blood in the water. But now there's a boom all the way back. We got an infield pass to Europe. Europe chips it up. Now somebody needs to go get the ball. No one's gonna go get the ball. Slaps it straight back down on the ground. And Stone, and now this is what we saw from him in game 3. They're starting to put pressure on him. Here comes Europe. There's a double commit there. All this one might roll in, tips it high, gets a tip, can't get
Oh.
around it. It's a free ball. There's no boost for Europe. A fake on the back end. Rennie boy completely played him at the end. 3 shots, 3 goals. And right now, I think you want to sit here and be like, we got this. As casters, as fans, we want to say we got this. But as a player, 3 goals is not safe, Bo.
Yeah, I mean, you always want to play as a player. You always want to say, "We can do this. We can come back." I mean, I've been down the same amount with 1 minute left and stayed in the game. Tried my best. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes it don't. But the biggest thing is not to let it break you down mentally. Mental is the biggest part of this game. You see that even in the highest lobbies. And that could be a goal right there. But Slash is there to thwart it. Europe, good job on putting it on net. But Carnage, who do you think has been such a difference maker? I know Rennie has been good, and
Hey,
as I'm
talking
talking
up
about
to
him,
him. You know what?
and
Let's go ahead and do it now. MVP's going to Rennie. Let's go ahead and do it now.
definitely.
4 goals, 4 shots, deadly efficient, 100%. And if you're a Sloss, it was a great season. You wanted to play spoiler, but when they needed him most, Rennie, as we talked about, stepped up. But like I say, if we don't have Rennie in the equation, I say Cass stepped up very immensely. He did everything a captain needed to do. He trusted his players, and like I said, we doubted like he didn't need to do that sub, but he trusts his players, and that's what you need going into the playoffs, though.
Yeah, they're trusting each other very well. I mean, you've seen that through multiple plays. Even right there, Rennie trusts both of them to take on offense. Even though he's been their offensive piece, he trusts both of them to
Oh,
stay up. And oh, that would have been such a nice shot by Yurt, but
I thought the comeback was gonna
unfortunately.
start. You hit a shot like that, like listen. Oh, it's on the tip. Oh, but Rennie gets in the slash. And I think they might have just found their playoff form. Whoever has them in the semifinals, get ready for it. What a pass! What a shot! It might have got saved if Slasher didn't get it. But now we're looking at a Brazil here. Like I said, now we're just trying to kill time. We know what's gonna happen. We know what can happen going into this. Buns is still. Congratulations, you're going to. They're gonna get the
And the
7.
Brazil.
Gonna get the Brazil. Now you think they're just gonna hold the Brazil? They're just freestyling us all. Look, Slash is jumping, Randy's jumping. Cass is just watching them, be like, "Yo, do you?" And then he drives up to make sure it goes in. They are feeling themselves. This is the most I've seen domination on stream, but when it comes down to like win or go home, this is the most domination I've ever seen right now. And they're just
I mean,
waiting it out. They're going after them, Bo.
Rennie has missed one goal this entire time. Slash has scored both of his, and Cass is the only one that has not scored a goal. And I wonder if he's going to try and change that before this game is over, or if they just want to keep it as a Brazil.
I'm
But I
watching
feel
it.
like,
Cass is just making sure they don't get anything. He did miss that one, but there's an open net. Possibly there was them on the backside. But Buns of Steel, welcome to the playoffs. If nobody wants to, I know Canadians gonna talk to you guys, but hey, welcome to the amateur playoffs because now it starts here. Europe might try to get one. No, they're just gonna play out a passing play here, and that's it, folks. Bundts is still making through in that 4th spot for amateur, and then we will see them. Well, there's a possibility we will see them again on the amateur championship day, but they're definitely going to the semifinals on Monday.
Yeah, that they play. I would not be happy to play this team really and truly because they're playing at another level of gameplay. Like you said, they could probably rival that Whiskey Business team that we saw earlier in the night, and that is very hard to do, seeing as they're a whole nother tier away from them.
Oh yeah, and we're gonna see if Cass wants to hop in real quick before we cut we end for today. But like, yeah, we're just going over it. You At first we were like, oh no, this is gonna, they might bottle it. It's 1-1, and we were sitting there, we're like, they might lose it, and out of nowhere, Rennie just steps up. Cass starts sitting in the back, making sure to, like, every time they doing the ball, I give it back to Slash or Rennie and let them go after them. And like, that's just pure domination. I think when you want to hit a stride like that going into playoffs, I think that's the time to hit it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the perfect time. Like you said, this is the perfect time to hit that stride, and they definitely did. They were clicking on all cylinders and just not faulting anywhere really. Where they were playing, they were just going through it, weren't going through the motions at all, like I said earlier. But you also have to see that they weren't facing just uh all those slots was 8-43. I mean, they played an amazing game against this team that's now up there. But what who do you think? I know we know that the other team was good, but on Sloth, Pitter Patty played good, but you also had Stonehaven and Yerp. Who do you think was a big difference maker there?
I think, to me, like, we'll say because he had the goals, but he also had the saves to match it. So we're not just saying it to be saying. I think Pitter Patty was there. He was, like I said. I think they should have just released the chains when he almost helped them win the game 3. I think that's when you just release the chains from when you two play, you play your role. Just kind of like how the other two played for Rennie. They let Rennie do whatever Rennie wanted to do. And then if they needed the help, they helped. And that works in this tier. That works in contender, and that works in prospect a little bit. Like, you let them do them, and then you just gotta clean it up. And I think that's what makes this playoff so, it's gonna be close. Like, they might have squeezed in, but we understand playoffs is a whole different slate. You're not playing 4 games now. If you go 2-2, there is no, all right, GG's, you're going to a game 5 at some point. And I think that's just what it's going to be. So going into it, like, listen, I say we just go into this. We sit there. We love this game, but tomorrow, we got to redo it. We got to do it again.
Yeah, every day is another day. I mean, that's true for life, but especially in Rocket League, because so much can change in just a short amount of time, like we saw right here. I mean, that team we were not expecting to just come out here and dominate like we did, but we also didn't expect the Sloth team to rival it as much. Because I mean, I feel that nobody was expecting that to be as close of a game. The last game was a lot more like people expected, probably. I mean, every other game was within reach. I know 2 and 3 were all a goal apart. I'm not really sure. I can't remember about the first game.
Yeah, but we'll move on. 'Cause I think Cass is more worried about celebrating with his team, and hey, kudos to him. Like, say, hey, you do something like that, you need a 4-0, and you pull out the clutch factor. Like, go celebrate with your team. So we won't get an interview today, but hopefully, maybe they win the finals, maybe not, but we'll see. It's a 25% chance now that there's only 4 teams in amateur standing. But moving on to it, like, it's just, I don't know. Like, I know I want to play Rocket League now, even though we kind of hate this game sometimes. But like, you see somebody clutch, you make the clutch factor and you bring it out, and you do everything that long season, tough season, and you finally, that last day, you see that you get to go on and move on. So it's just one of those things. Like, hey, it feels good. Congrats to the bakery. Both teams came on. They completely killed it. To the teams that came with them, Sloths. and Prism Proteges, they put up fights. Like I said, people thought it was would be one sided. They put up a tremendous fight. I don't want nobody to take that away or act like we're one sided here. They put up tremendous fights. You know, some things didn't go their way. We saw a lot of bar downs, bar outs. Sometimes that's just how Rocket League goes.